Haas IndyCar Series is off to a crazy start. We had a wild race at Auto Club 2 weeks ago, which saw Thomas Troxel go to victory lane on the last lap pass. And then there was absolute chaos at Circuit of the Americas last weekend, which saw Luna Lona get the race victory. Two drivers who have won the championship before in the Haas IndyCar Series going to victory lane. They're the top two drivers in points. But today, it's another completely new thing. And first time we've been here in the Phoenix Raceway in 7 years in the Haas IndyCar Series, and it's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. There's 63 laps around this mile-long racetrack in Avondale, Arizona, and these guys are going to be going much faster than they did in the Cup Series yesterday, so hold on tight. It's going to get wild. It's third race of the season. Here's the Arizona 100K in the 2026 Haas IndyCar Series. Hello, everybody. This is AG here, and welcome to the Phoenix Raceway here in Avondale, Arizona. Once again, we've had a great week of racing here, and what a finish we had yesterday in the Wall Cup Series between Jack Haas and Logan Williams. 1/1000th of a second. I don't know if we're going to quite see that here tonight, but we know that this race is going to be a heck of a lot of fun. These guys are going to be flying around this place. Only 63 laps. We're going to be out of here very quick. But we're also going to have a cycle of pit stops like we anticipated yesterday. And we could see a big wreck as well, because just wait until you see the start of this race. These guys fanning out 3, 4, maybe even 5 wide at some points. But it's going to cycle out, and track position's going to matter as this race goes along. And we got Caleb back, and Caleb was back in the Haas IndyCar Series. Of course, he ran the series past couple of years. So you saw Luna Lona, you saw Thomas Troxel do a lot of great things in the series. Of course, he called Troxel's championship a couple of years ago. But neither of them are starting top 10. Actually, I take that back. Thomas Troxel starting in the 8th position for this race, but Luna Lona also starting on the outside lane. And what we're anticipating here at the start of this race is that inside lane, just like we saw in the Cup race yesterday, going to be where you want to be. And I think it's going to be even more pronounced here because of how much grip these guys have, and they can just swing it to the inside and go just as fast as the outside lane. So what do you need to do at the start of this race and throughout the race if you're starting on that outside lane looking to get a race victory here at Phoenix Raceway?
Well, yeah, I definitely think at a racetrack like this, with a car like this, early on, it's definitely going to get quite crazy. We saw everybody jockeying it out for real estate in the opening laps in both the National and Cup Series race. So yeah, I think this one's going to play out a lot more of the same. But these guys are going to be all over this racetrack in the early stages of this race while the tires are still fresh. And we're definitely going to see quite the chaotic opening to this race, I believe. But definitely ought to be a very interesting one. And I'd say the inside lane will definitely be preferred around here. So if you are on the outside lane, kind of just like some of the other races we've seen here, want to try to make your way down low as soon as you possibly can, or else you could potentially get freight trained. But we'll have to see what all does end up shaking out. But this is definitely going to be a very interesting one here from Phoenix. We've not been at this racetrack here in IndyCar in years, so it is definitely going to be very fun to see how this does end up shaking out.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's definitely going to be a lot of fun seeing how this race plays out here today. And I'm excited to see how this race plays out in particular, because it's going to be so much different than what we've seen in past IndyCar races here. Of course, if you've been around long enough, you remember them. It took me going back to them from almost a decade ago to remember just how wild and crazy we got here. And while it may seem like that at first, it's going to cycle out to a point where track position is going to mean a lot. We're going to have a cycle of pit stops, and the start-finish line's in a different spot than the last time we were here as well. But I think what's got me really fired up is what we saw yesterday in the Wall Cup Series race. And though that's a much different race car and some different drivers, this track has a lot of potential that you don't realize. And I think with these Indy cars, the high grip scenario, this is going to be a fantastic and excellent race. I think it's going to be the best race we've had so far here in the IndyCar Series for 2026. Here's how they line up in the championship standings. Luna Lona's got 2 points on Thomas Troxel. They're the two winners so far this year, and just like it is in the Wall Cup Series. And fun fact, I was telling Caleb after we just recorded the Wall Cup Series race yesterday, that 1/1000th of a second between Jack Haas and Logan Williams was a 21-point swing between those two drivers. That's how important it is to win a race in the Wall Cup Series and in this series as well, because it's that same gap, 10-point gap from winning and not winning. Of course, you get the bonus point for leading a lap and another bonus point for leading the most laps, so it's similar, but it's staggered a little different here in the IndyCar Series than it is in the Wall Cup Series, so you get more points per position the higher up you go. We've always known that here for this series, but If you get those wins, that's where you're going to find yourself up front. But Justin Zeidel's a guy who won the championship without getting a race victory in 2019, so he was in that race 7 years ago. Unfortunately for him, he's not really up there in the points because it's Charlie Davenport, who is third in the standings, 15 points behind. And our pole sitter for this race, Marcus Glitch, 16 points behind. Bruno Diacomo, 17 points behind. Still very early on in the season. Only 14 races left to go. It's a 16-race season, so it is a lot shorter than a lot of the other series that we do on the channel. So each race means a lot more, but a lot of these guys looking forward to the Indy 250 coming up in about a month, about 2 months. Roughly 2 months? Yeah, a little bit more than 2 months. It's going to be here before you know it, though, and we're looking forward to that. And success in the ovals is definitely going to translate over to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the biggest race of the year. Marcus Glitch and Justin Zeidel on the front row here for this Arizona 100K. Much needed qualifying effort from Angel Gutierrez in the 1, starting to the inside of Brad Stover in the 49 machine. And you got the number 27 of Tanner Parton to the inside of the 93 of Andrew Miller. You also got one of the Dog Pound Incorporated machines there. It's hard to see from this angle who's who. We got a lot of black and white cars. But that's Jay Knapp to the inside of Thomas Troxel there in row number 4. And then we got the 40 of Angel Olvera to the inside of the 18 of Aaron Abel. There's Charlie Davenport and Bruno Diacomo, both off to pretty solid starts to their seasons. There's Zachary Fitzwater and Luna Lona, who were two of the front runners at COTA last week. Bradley Bradshaw, Max Anderson there. And then you also got Lewis Bishop, in the 13. Avery Alford drives that car in the Wawa Cup Series. And then John Andrews behind him. You got the number 54 of BB Ruiz to the inside of Nicholas Samadio. Dylan Matthews and Avery Alford near the back of the field. Not a good qualifying effort for Team Veloster. Logan Williams, who was runner-up in that race, to the inside of Brain Perez. And then at the back, Carson Miller and Brennan Wilmington, last year's Indy 250 champion. But realistically, I think any of these guys have a shot at winning this race. 63 laps, and with what we're going to see with those high-grip tires and this very high-grip racetrack, I think it's very possible you can see someone like Brennan Wilmington go from 26th to 1st in this race. It's going to be fun. All right. Let's go ahead and get these drivers to roll off here from the Phoenix Raceway. And with all that being said, Caleb, you ran this series for a couple of years. You know these drivers very well, but you may not know this track as well, at least in the IndyCar side. It's been 7 years since we've come here. I don't know what to expect, so who do you think is going to go to victory lane here in this Arizona 100K and the Haas IndyCar Series?
Well, it's going to be very intriguing to see how this race does play out, but as far as victory goes, I'm feeling a bit inspired by the driver you were talking about a little bit earlier. I'm going to go with that 98 of Brennan Wilmington to get it done there from the last position. If he does get it done, it would be the first time here in the IndyCar Series that he went last to first. See if he's got the car to pull it off, and would definitely be very interesting if he did. Regardless of the fact, it's definitely going to be a very fun one here from Phoenix.
No doubt about it. 63 laps. It's going to go by really quick. These guys are going to be flying around here. You're going to notice the difference compared to yesterday's race. Marcus Glitch was not in that race, neither was Justin Zeidel, so they're going to lead us off to the green flag here. And it's going to be a lot of fun seeing how this all ends up shaking out. They come to the restart zone, coming to the green flag, and we're underway here at Phoenix in the Arizona 100K and the Haas IndyCar Series. Lap 1, gonna go to Marcus Glitch in the 17. It's another bonus point towards the championship. 4 wide. Tanner Parton all the way downstairs in the 27. Angel Gutierrez to the inside of Justin Zeidel and Brad Stover. And my goodness, that was really close right there. Oh boy, and Marcus Glitch was like, hey, y'all go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and pull away with this thing. More 3 wide action. Tanner Parton looking to get it here on Gutierrez and Zeidel. These guys are going way lower than they did yesterday because they got the grip in these cars to be able to go that low and still make it. Working in the wall. Nicholas Samadio in the 33. They keep it straight. That was Samadio and Avery Alford. And there's going to be damage on the 33 machine. That's a tough break for him right there. Not been a good start to the season for Nicholas, either here or in the Cup Series. A lot of grip on this racetrack, and you can tell they kind of got caught with each other right there. And going to fall off the pace just a little bit. But Marcus Glitch still out front in the 17 for Harrisville Motorsports. Here comes Brad Stover, Justin Idell, Gutierrez, and how about Andrew Miller to the inside of Tanner Parton there. And Auto Club winner Thomas Troxel looking to split 3 wide as Brad Stover goes to the inside for the race lead here on lap number 5.
Clears for the lead here as we head down what used to be the front stretch. Now I guess kind of a back straightaway here from Phoenix. Brad Stover now out in front in that number 99 mile racing machine. Here comes Justin Zidell to the inside of Marcus Glitch for the second position with the 1 of Angel Gutierrez there kind of waiting in the wings. Andrew Miller off to a great start in the 93. Now up into the 5th position. We're still seeing a lot of jockeying for position near mid-pack. Almost had 3 wide there for a second here going into turn 4 between the 80, the 23, and
that's a 00 Jay Knapp there, and then his teammate Zachary Fitzwater going for it. As Troxel slipping back a little bit right there. Here comes Andrew Miller for position on Marcus Glitch, who is slipping back now outside the top 5, or almost outside the top 5. Got Tanner Parton there in the 27 looking to the inside lane as well. It's Brad Stover and Justin Zidell, the top 2. Tanner Parton's been down below that yellow line pretty much this entire race. He's really trying to utilize that inside, get that shorter way around the racetrack. Going to lose a little bit of grip there, and here comes Charlie Davenport in the 80 machine. Aaron Abel as well on the inside lane in the 18. Look how close these guys are up front. Angel Gutierrez looking to the inside of Justin Zidell for the second position, and Troxel going all the way down below, trying to get to the inside of Tanner Parton, who's also doing the same thing.
Looking 3 wide here as we head down the back straightaway. Aaron Abel's going to get it back in line. They're on the outside of Big Sendo on the inside from the number 27. Tanner Parton just barely got to the inside of Aaron Abel there and is going to take the 7th position. Troxel still on the inside of the 81 of Zachary Fitzwater. A couple IndyCar champions going at it behind them with Jay Knapp also in the mix there as well. Maybe looking to try and help his teammate through, and actually it looks like they're both going to clear the 23 of Thomas Troxel. Great teamwork there for the Dog Pound Incorporated teammates. Things are still hot, though, out here in front as now Angel Gutierrez looking to try and take second away from Justin Zidell. Zidell holding strong, though, still in that second position, but Brad Stover looking pretty solid right now out in that race lead, but he's definitely got quite a queue of cars behind him. Here's Charlie Davenport trying to go after that 93 of Andrew Miller. Got Tanner Parton right behind him. We know Parton's definitely not scared to get aggressive so far this race. And a couple IndyCar champions going all the way down to the apron back there as Fitzwater and Troxel kind of tandeming together right now.
Yeah, they're 2 past IndyCar champions right there, Zachary Fitzwater and Thomas Troxel. Very aggressive trying to get that apron to work to their advantage right here. Jay Knapp also in the middle of all this as well, and double 3 wide action going into turns 1 and 2. It's definitely very spicy back there, no doubt about it. But it's actually a little calm out front. Brad Stover kind of pulling away now on this 99 machine. And, of course, you know, we all know what happened at Daytona and the Daytona 500 and his attempt to win that race. As we got some 3 wide action for second. How about Marcus Glitch, Gutierrez, and Justin Zidell? How about Charlie Davenport? You know, the way things worked out with Charlie Davenport getting this ride was kind of interesting. You know, he missed out on anything else, and hey, you know, there was a spot open here. We didn't do sign-ups for the series, so we wanted to make sure he got something to compete in, and he ultimately ended up in the National Series anyway, but 3rd in the standings after 2 races. He's now in a podium position here for BO Racing and Fernando de Oliveira. And, I mean, looks like Tanner Parton's going to go into the attenuator, like Aaron Lukes did at Willow Springs last week. That's very close on that inside lane. These guys are kind of letting Brad Stover pull away just a little bit, and we're going to have to see if anyone can catch up to him. Of course, we saw yesterday in the Cup Series race, Logan Williams came oh so close to Jack Haas, who led all but 1 lap in that event. Aaron Abel almost cleared up in the Andrew Miller. These guys slipping back. See those guys on the inside lane. That's Bruno Diacomo in the 73. You got Zachary Fitzwater, and how about Braden Perez here as well? Good run for him so far, trying to crack into the top 10. The last minute, Luna Lona. And you picked Brendan Wilmington to win this race. Look at what he's doing in this 98 machine. Up to the 17th position. He was looking to go 3 wide right there, but didn't quite get it. These guys are just all over the place, and tires are starting to wear out as well. It's getting dicey throughout this entire field. And even with all that contact, Nicholas Sambidio and Avery Alford, they're still racing with these guys. Alfred's actually gotten around Logan Williams and some of these guys in the back of the field right there, like B.B. Ruiz, John Andrews. They've been struggling in this race. Carson Miller started last. He's still last in the 04 machine. And Charlie Davenport is looking quick here for BO Racing in that 80 machine to the gearbox of Brad Stover. Here comes Tanner Parton to the inside of Justin Seidel for third. And the two green cars there, Marcus Glitch and Angel Gutierrez, still battling for the 5th position. Jay Knapp looking, or sorry, that's Bruno Diacomo looking very strong in this one. He's in the top 10.
Charlie Davenport's looking especially strong so far in the early stages of this race. Now up into the 2nd position and trying to reel in that 99 of Brad Stover. Definitely started to pull away quite a bit there, but since Davenport's now gotten up to 2nd, he's been looking like he's been slowly reeling in that 99 of Brad Stover. Good run there through turn 4. And he's also bringing a competitor with him. We got the 73 there, Justin Seidel.
Blew up.
Trouble,
Perez, and that's a huge hit there. Avery Alford caught up Nicholas Samadillo as well, and our first caution of the day here in the Arizona 100K, and Braden Perez went flying through the air. Oh my. And the tire's gone on Samadillo's machine. B.B. Ruiz as well, and just like yesterday, our cautions because of mechanical failures, and of course a wreck ensuing after a mechanical failure with how fast these guys are going. Really hard to avoid that. I do believe that these guys should be able to make it from here on out. So we'll have to see what Brad Stover and the rest of the field can do right here. They're all coming down the pit lane here on lap 22 of 63. We made it a little bit longer than we did yesterday before we had a caution, though that first caution yesterday, Caleb, was a debris caution. Phantom caution, as they like to call it.
Definitely interesting.
4-tire stop for all these guys here. Of course, at the end of the day, still a NASCAR simulator, and how about that? Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe some strategy playing out right there. Stover's going to be a little ways behind off of Charlie Davenport. We're going to have to take a look and see if he went 2 or 4 tires on his stop in that 80 machine. Justin Seidel, Tanner Parton, Bruno Diacomo, Angel Gutierrez, and then Brad Stover fall in the 6th as Davenport takes the race lead off the cycle of pit stops under caution here in the Arizona 100K at the Phoenix Raceway in the Haas IndyCar Series. Let's see what happened to bring out the caution here with Braden Perez bringing out our first yellow flag of the season here in the Haas IndyCar Series. Well, we saw this happen yesterday with Bryce Egan. He blew up right around the same spot, but these IndyCars going much faster. The result's probably going to be a lot more incredible. And right there across the line, Braden Perez, the engine expiring on the 63 machine. And it's a lot harder to avoid that with where he was. And I think it was Avery Alford who was the first one to get into him. A lot of these guys avoided him, actually. Good job by a lot of these drivers. But Alford, oh, it was actually Perez actually hit up into the wall. And then you had Alford with nowhere to go right into him, up in the air. Logan Williams, I mean, just barely avoids this one. But Nicholas Samadillo is not as fortunate, and same goes for B.B. Ruiz in the 54, hard into the 83, into the 83 machine. Tough break for those guys. It's an unfortunate incident, because it was not because of contact, just a mechanical failure, and Alfred had nowhere to go in the 28 machine after that occurred. Such a tough break for those guys.
Watching here, Braden Perez, unfortunately, the engine going up in smoke here just across the line. And at this point, it's just nothing he can really do. Just locks it down and nowhere for Avery Alford to go. Sends Perez up into the air flying. And at that point, everyone's just holding on for dear life. Great wreck avoidance there, by the way, from the 04. Carson Miller just barely squeezing through. A lot better than, unfortunately, some of these other guys can say. It's going to knock a handful of drivers out of the race, including Braden Perez. Really tough break there for him. Had a solid start to this race going on, and unfortunately going to come to a crashing end here from the Phoenix Raceway. But it's going to bring everybody down pit road, and a little bit of varying strategy here under this caution, which is definitely going to be interesting to see how it ends up shaping the rest of this race.
Yeah, most of these guys took 2 tires. Brad Stover took 4 tires, so watch out for him here on this restart. Charlie Davenport won the race off the pit lane, so let's see what he does on the restart. here in the Arizona 100K from Phoenix Raceway. We're back here at the Phoenix Raceway, Avondale, Arizona. Had a lot of great action so far this weekend here. Capping it all off with the Haas IndyCar Series on a Sunday night from Phoenix Raceway, and had a big wreck right there. And some pit strategy, and I know this is not true to real-life IndyCar racing. Either you take tires or you don't take tires, but this is still a NASCAR simulator, so 2 tires is an option, and a lot of these guys went on the 2-tire strategy, except for the dominant driver of the race, Brad Stover, who took 4, so watch out for Brad Stover that maybe slice through this field. We do believe that all these drivers are good to go to the end of the race. And with that being said, Charlie Davenport going to lead us off to the green flag for our first restart of the day. Got Justin Zeidel in second, Tanner Parton, Bruno Diacomo, Angel Gutierrez, Brad Stover, Aaron Abel, Zachary Fitzwater, Marcus Glitch, and Andrew Miller. In the top 10 as Davenport gets out to a huge lead to start this restart here. And they're going to go 3 wide for the second position. Nope. Diacomo's going to get to the inside of Parton, though, for third. No. And they all stay in their respective positions. Pretty clean start right there for all these guys. Gutierrez slipping back on the 1.
Great restart there for Charlie Davenport. He holds on to the race lead. Going at it behind him, though. Bruno Diacomo side by side with Tanner Parton. Aaron Abel going all the way to the apron with the 81 of Zachary Fitzwater. There's Brad Stover, who got by the 1 of Angel Gutierrez on the restart. Almost slid at the track and on the wall there off of turn number 3. But side by side still for third between Diacomo and Parton. But pretty clean, all things considered. Everyone staying relatively calm for now. Still got some battles going on, though, as Brad Stover maybe thinking of cutting them up 3 wide. Stays in behind both of them here for the time being. Aaron Abel in the 18 going after that 1 of Alger Baranowski's with Marcus Glitch there waiting in the wings. And a fun race so far from Phoenix, and closing in on halfway home. It'll be interesting to see how the latter half of this race goes, especially with all the pit strategy involved on that last caution.
That is Angel Gutierrez in the 1, not Alger Baranowski's.
Oh, excuse me.
It's okay. We'd like to mention the drivers out of the race include Brain Perez, obviously, and then you have Avery Alford, Nicholas Sambadio, and then the 54 of BB Ruiz, all knocked out from this one. Still 22 cars in the lead lap. All still in this race. Max Anderson, the last one right now in the 97 machine at the back of the field. And Brad Stover, that was a good call on that team, I think, to go 4 tires. I don't think the tire wear is that significant here, but that little bit of a difference might be enough to get him up front when it matters most. You see Zeidel had a run on Davenport, couldn't make it stick, and then you got Stover making a move here on Tanner Parton for third. Brad Stover trying to get it on the inside of the 27. Of course, the outside lane has a bit of grip right there. We saw that very much come into play yesterday with Jack Haas getting that race victory on the outside of Logan Williams. These guys are relatively clean up here. You got Gutierrez kind of holding these guys up. Got some 3 wide. How about Dylan Matthews? He's looking to join the top 10 right here to the inside of Aaron Abel and Thomas Troxel. Logan Williams, you know he's good here. And you know he's thinking about what happened yesterday. I know he'd love to find himself closer to the front, and it got close up front right there as Justin Zeidel's got it on Charlie Davenport for the race lead halfway through this Arizona 100K. And a good run there for Zeidel. Trying to remember, you might know this one. When was the last time he got a win here in the Haas IndyCar Series? And Davenport on the outside isn't going to let him lead a lap. How about that?
Woo.
And
oh my goodness!
Yeah, they let Brad Stover get right into this.
Not entirely sure when the last time Justin Zeidel's gone to victory lane here in the IndyCar Series. I know he's driven for you these past couple of years. I do want to think he did grab a win for you. I'm not entirely sure when, but Zeidel looking to win for that new team there. Excuse me.
Tanner Parton.
Durrani Racing,
he drove to the
Tanner
outside
Parton
from Brad Stover and then cut down on Zeidel. And now he's side by side with the 86. There's some grip up there on that middle lane now as these tires are starting to wear out. And hello,
now we got
Bruno Diacomo going 3 wide.
Here comes Gutierrez.
Yeah, they're all jamming back up now. They're losing the grip on the inside lane, and the preferred lines moving up the racetrack. It's going to make it a lot more difficult for these guys to get an advantage. Tanner Parton still trying to take this lead away from Justin Seidel, but you got to give it to Justin. He got back around Davenport, and now he is holding on to this race lead here. But look at this gaggle of cars behind him as Brad Stover does not seem to have an advantage right now on the tires compared to everyone he's racing with. Here comes Gutierrez back to the inside. Giacomo still in the mix. Pulse hitter, Marcus Glitch, Zachary Fitzwater, Aaron Abel. How about John Andrews, who also, by the way, took 4 tires as well. He's starting to find his way closer to the top 10. And then Andrew Miller and Logan Williams on the top half of the field right there is, look at this. How about Fitzwater? You know he's got a chip on his shoulder from what happened to him last week. Him taken out by Dylan Matthews, or more or less taking himself out. That was kind of his fault right there in that whole exchange. And Justin Seidel now has a half-second lead on the field. And I know he loves to see this as Giacomo way downstairs in the 73 to the inside of Davenport and Stover. So much action going all over the place here. Hard to keep track of who's where, but these guys have been putting on a great show here at Phoenix, here in these Indy cars.
Yeah, this has been a fun race here so far here from Phoenix. Still got some 3-wide going on here inside the top 10. As Aaron Abel, Angel Gutierrez, Marcus Glitch all going at it. You got John Andrews joining the party in that number 48 BK Industries Chevrolet. And he's kind of making his way up through here, so I definitely think the 4 tires are at least making a little bit of a difference. I don't know if Stover might have kind of wore him out a bit too quickly or what, but he's still making up some ground. But it's kind of stalled out a little bit, and as soon as I say that, he tries to make a move on the 27 of Tanner Parton to see if he has the grip on the inside. He's able to stay side by side with the 27 of Parton here as we head into turn 4. Nah, not quite. Parton was able to clear him here as we head to complete lap number 41. So I do think the tires might have made a little bit of a difference, but I don't really think it's as significant as they might have thought it might be.
Yeah, if you're good enough and find yourself in good positions, I think you can hold on to your position here at Phoenix Raceway. And Tanner Parton able to close the door on Brad Stover, keep him behind him, and they're starting the single file out now in front of the top 10. John Andrews is continuing to make some moves here in this 49 machine. Look at all the way down low. There's Andrew Miller, not Thomas Troxel. Oh, no, that was Thomas Troxel's ride in the Cup Series, or not in the Cup Series, but in the Truck Series for a couple of years. Did he drive it in this series?
I don't think he did.
Okay.
I don't know.
So he's been with Team Williams this whole time. Angel Vera up here as well, along with Andrew Miller, and you also got Logan Williams. They're trying to find themselves closer to the top 10. And there goes Stover to the inside of Tanner Parton. Davenport looking to get some advantages here. And how about 3 wide for position as John Andrews gets it there on Marcus Glitch and Bruno Diacomo. And John Andrews looking very quick in this 49 machine. Brad Stover trying to get this inside lead to his advantage. He's got it right now. Here comes Davenport, though, in the 80 machine. He's been quick all race. Also trying to chase down Justin Seidel on this 86 machine. Durrani Racing, they are very strong in every series they go in, by the way. Ryan Durrani has really become one of the better owners in this series. Now Brad Stover looking to change that, looking to get Michael Lewis in victory lane as an owner. And unable to get that grip on the inside lane to close in on Seidel. Tanner Parton looking to get a run. And here comes John Andrews. It was Blaine Key's team last week with Luna Lona, and Blaine Key's looking to get another win as an owner here in this series. As John Andrews looks to the inside of Brad Stover for second, and both of those guys took 4 tires on the stop, but one guy has been much quicker than the other.
I will tell you what, this 48 of John Andrews has been dicing up this top 10 ever since he closed in, and he might have something here for our race leader, Justin Seidel. He has looked blazing fast so far throughout this run as he still stays side by side with Brad Stover, and we were just talking about how they were kind of going single filing out up front here, and as soon as we say that, everybody's going crazy. That was not a good run on the inside there for Marcus Glitch. Really kind of had to slam on the brakes there and lost a ton of ground. I think the grip is definitely starting to go away. Charlie Davenport had to get out of the gas there, but here we go. John Andrews looking for the race lead here on Seidel. Zachary Fitzwater way down on the racetrack on Davenport, but up front, John Andrews looking to clear here off at turn number 3. They stay side by side for now. We'll see if Andrews can clear here, and it looks like he just might, and he will.
Oh, but Seidel looking to cross back over.
Crossover.
Former teammates. Used to be the team owner of these guys over at our Allen Motorsports back when he ran the series, Caleb, and I'm always proud of them and what they did. John Anders almost got that Indy 250 win last year. You know he's thinking about that going into this year. But he's not going to get that lead quite yet. Justin Zeidel's done an excellent job holding on to this race lead in this 86 machine. Got 13 laps to go. Here in the Arizona 100K, Brad Stover back in line as well in the 99. He's found himself back up front. There's a considerable gap there from Logan Williams to the rest of the field there. Lewis Bishop and Luna Lone a little ways back. Slower lap times for Dylan Matthews and Jay Nath, Carson Miller, Bradley Bradshaw, Max Anderson. Thomas Troxel slipped up again. He's fallen back. And then Brendan Wilmington, I'm not sure if he got caught up in the accident or not, but he is falling back as Zeidel continues to lead in the 86 machine for Durrani Racing. So Justin Zeidel, John Andrews, Charlie Davenport, Brad Stover, and Zachary Fitzwater. That's the top 5 right now here as we're coming to 10 laps to go here in the Arizona 100K. And this has been an excellent race. These guys have been all over the place, but we've been able to see these guys kind of dominate in certain areas. But just like it was in the Cup race yesterday, everything from second on back has been excellent. And this race is still far from over as John Andrews has a huge run to the inside for the race lead here with 10 laps to go.
That was a huge run there for the 48. He's taking it back to the 86, of Justin Zeidel. Charlie Davenport right in tow as Andrews clears for the lead once again. And Zeidel not going to be able to do a crossover this time. He's stuck on the outside. Side by side now with Brad Stover as Davenport goes all the way to the apron. Looking to try and maybe get a nose here on the 48 of Andrews. Won't quite do so. Here comes Fitzwater through the middle on Zeidel and Brad Stover. See if it works out for him, and it will. Great pass from that 81 of Fitzwater. He might have something for this top 2.
He might. This 81 machine defending Haas IndyCar Series champion, Zachary Fitzwater. And Zeidel, he's slipping back now in the 86 machine. Those tires have worn out, but they're all led by John Andrews. What a call for him on the pit lane to go 4 tires. He drove his way through the field, but he is not pulling away yet. Davenport and Fitzwater looking to get this momentum, and Davenport again, a huge run going through the dog leg for the driver of the number 80. Davenport has had such an excellent start to the season. I know he'd love to get a race victory here today at Phoenix Raceway if he can get it ahead of John Andrews. But Zachary Fitzwater looking very strong. And Fitzy to the inside. That is for the 2nd position. It's good news here for John Andrews, trying to pull away from these guys. We saw what happened yesterday. It ain't over till it's over. Brad Stover in the middle. Fitzwater went too low. There's no grip on the apron anymore, and Stover now to the inside of Davenport for 2nd.
Of course, we know Stover took 4 tires on that last pit stop. We'll see if he has anything left in him for that 48 of John Andrews. They stay side by side for the 2nd position. Davenport trying to make that middle line work, and it looks like he is going to make that work. It definitely seems like that has where the grip has migrated to over the course of this run. He actually got a really good run there off of turn 3, looking to take the fight back to the 48 of John Andrews. They stay side by side for 3rd on back. Justin Zeidel looking to try and bounce back. He's holding on to 5th, looking to try and get in this battle for 3rd. But all eyes are on the race lead as John Andrews trying to fend off Davenport. Didn't have the best of runs there through turn 3. Now he's under fire once again from Brad Stover, but up to the middle, might get a run here.
Oh boy.
And he does have a run. Here we go. Coming to 3 to go. They're side by side for the lead.
Can't go too low, though, because there's no grip on that apron, and John Andrews going to hold on the outside. That was a solid run for Davenport. Will he keep the nose? He will not. And that's going to allow Stover to get back to the inside there for 2nd position. But now Stover's going to get a run.
Oh, what a run!
Andrews was way off the exit of the corner. 2 laps to go here at Phoenix. And Brad Stover looking to get to the inside of John Andrews. This might open the door for Davenport. Will he go and split him 3 wide?
Oh,
not quite. As Zeidel is down the pit lane, is he out of gas? I think he is. But the white flag's in the air for John Andrews in the 48 machine here at Phoenix Raceway. A couple of guys, Tanner Parton did not have enough fuel either. And John Andrews clear out and ahead in the number 48 machine. He was able to get the run. There's some guys who did not have enough fuel. It's just like it was at COTA last week, but John Andrews, a little bit of sweet redemption from the Indy 250. Gonna get the win here in the Arizona 100K at Phoenix Raceway. And Blaine Keys goes 2 in a row here in the Haas IndyCar Series.
What a race. What a return to Phoenix. Yeah, that's a real big gut punch at Justin. He was up there at the front all day, dominated most of this race. Oh, that's such a shame for the 86.
Well, how about John Andrews going back to victory lane in the Haas IndyCar Series? You love to see it. And, man, the fuel just became an issue again here. About half the field actually had to come down the pit lane right there at the end. A lot of them were at the back of the field. I'm wondering if they were trying to fuel save and they just didn't have enough. Most of the leaders were able to stay out there. Logan Williams ran out of fuel. He was running top 10. Zidell as well. Lewis Bishop, Bradley Bradshaw, Max Anderson, Carson Miller, Tanner Parton, Jay Knapp, Brendan Williamson all had to come down the pit lane there. What a race. John Andrews, they played the strategy perfectly on the pit lane right there. Got those 4 tires and had the advantage. And Davenport had a chance right there, but there was just not enough grip to make the inside work to make the move on John, and just wasn't going to happen. But how about that for John Andrews? Longtime veteran to the Haas IndyCar Series, getting it done here at Phoenix. John Andrews, Charlie Davenport might actually take the points lead once this is all said and done, though, because that's another top 10 run for him, second top 5. Brad Stover, Zachary Fitz, what a great run for Fitzy. He needed that. That's his first top 10 of the season. And then Bruno Diacomo, Angel Gutierrez, Angel Oliveira, Andrew Miller, Aaron Abel, Marcus Glitch are Pulsitter, the top 10. Wild stuff here at Phoenix, Caleb. The whole weekend, it was a lot of fun. And for what we saw yesterday, another solid race here tonight in the Haas IndyCar Series at Phoenix.
Absolutely. That was definitely quite the interesting return to Phoenix here in the Haas IndyCar Series. Pretty much saw some fantastic racing just about all race long. Some fantastic battles, especially even for the race lead. And in the end, John Andrews with a great pit strategy call there, taking 4 tires, able to hold off the rest of the field there. Like I say, he was absolutely slicing and dicing his way through that top 10 once he did make his way up there. And once he did that, it was just a matter of time before he took the race lead. And while he definitely had a bit of challenge there from Charlie Davenport, Brad Stover, Zachary Fitzwater, just to name a few, he absolutely earned this race win. A fantastic run for John Andrews and BK Industries there, going 2 in a row. That's great stuff there to see. But, man, that was a very, very fun race here from Phoenix. I can definitely say that. And I know John Andrews, Blaine Keys definitely going to be very excited about that one.
No doubt about it. That was a good win for those guys, and they played it perfectly on the strategy to get them in that position. Lots of fun here from Phoenix, and next week we're going to have lots of fun at Riverside. That has been a classic race in the Haas IndyCar Series, and I will never, ever forget 8 years ago when Justin Zidell went to victory lane in that event. After Eric Monaco came down on the last lap. I mean, you know, we've seen so many things. I will never forget that race, and who knows, we've seen some great races there. You've had some photo finishes yourself there, Caleb, in the IndyCar Series. So Napa, Indy, California coming up next Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's going to be a lot of fun, and we're excited to see how the season progresses because, hey, it's all over the place right now in terms of the points. I think Charlie Davenport's going to be your points leader once it's all said and done here from Phoenix. But you guys are going to see that right now. So thank you guys so much for watching here from the Phoenix Raceway. And congratulations to John Andrews on getting the race victory here in the Arizona 100K. A fun race here from the Phoenix Raceway in the 3rd event of the season. Huge thanks to Caleb Rose for doing a double with me. Recorded Cup and this run right after another here on a Monday afternoon. So huge thanks to you, Caleb, for always coming in clutch. We always do, so I appreciate it. And here are the points for the Haas IndyCar Series after the first 3 races of the season. Congratulations to John Andrews on getting his win at Phoenix. We'll see you guys next Sunday night from Riverside for the 4th race of the season. And I will see you guys later.